Hey Leo, thank you for joining me for your fall 2020 forecast. Um, you have some work to do, Leo. Some work that you have been trying to skirt around, all right? You've been trying to take the easy way out of some of the hard work that's needed for you to level up, for you to ascend spiritually. And it's not necessarily because you are afraid of the work that needs to be done. I think for many of you, it's just easier for you to go with the status quo, right? It's just easier for you to do what you've always been doing and not challenge yourself per se. But that is not the direction that spirit wants you to go into, okay? Because in order for you to access all of the good stuff that you have been manifesting, right, that you have been working towards, you also have to do the work on the other end, which means you need to deal with your shadow self. Okay. Now the moon card is one of the first cards that came out for you guys. With the moon card, it's letting us know that we are going to go through a period of having to look at ourselves in a new perspective, in a new way, in a different way. I think for many of us, we tend to gravitate towards what's easiest, and we don't necessarily look at what needs to be fixed. All right. We don't look at what issues we have that we have been burying within our subconscious. And the universe is saying now is the time to let all of that go. Okay. You've been holding on to a lot of trauma, a lot of issues that you are not opening up to people and letting them know, hey, this is bothering me. You can only do that for so long before you end up burning yourself out. Okay. In order for you to stay focused on where it is you need to go, you literally need to embody that energy from the strength card. Your card out of the tarot deck came out, strength. This is asking many of you to move forward in courage, all right? The courage that you have. Take that passion, that energy that you have, and invest it in yourself, okay? Don't just invest it in projects that you're working on. Don't just invest it in work or your relationships or your family. It's also time for you to invest in yourself just as much as you would with anyone else, okay? Now, when we go and do that shadow work, when we dig deep underneath the surface in order for us to see things that we need to heal, okay, energies that we need to transmute, when we go beyond the surface and deal with that, it helps us reconnect to our true selves, right? Our divine selves. Queen of Wands. Many of you ladies are building your own queendom, all right? You're building businesses. You're building legacies, your own empires, right? Because I know for many of us, who are especially single mothers, we don't want our kids to have to want for anything, right? So not only are we working 9 to 5s, we're also building businesses so that we can make sure our children's needs are met, okay? So again, in order for you to focus in on your queendom, you also have to do the shadow work and release anything that is not conducive to your highest good, okay? That includes trauma. All right. That includes feelings of self-doubt, lower vibrational feelings. Those are things that you need to deal with. And I'm going to be very clear too. You don't have to deal with it by yourself, because many of you like to be the superhero for everyone else. OK, and you don't put that energy back in yourself. All right. Now is the time for you to take a step back and ask for help as needed. Okay. Even if that means talking to a therapist, talking to someone at the temple or the church that you go to, whatever it means, you need to invest time in yourself so that you can begin to heal some of the wounds that you push beneath your subconscious. Okay. Now, a couple of other cards that came out for you guys, the Sun card. I think for many of you, you're trying to worry or wonder rather if some of the current business ventures you're on will work out. I do believe they will. I just think that spirit is saying, have patience as you go through this process. Because even as you go through this process of transmuting lower vibrational energies, you're going to get to a place of peace. Once you get to that place of peace, that's when you guys are going to start to have those aha moments like, hey, let me try this. This may work. This is going to help put me on the map with my business. Let me also try this, or let me network with this other lady. And let's see how we can build from there. Okay. So again, you taking some time out for yourself, you healing, you doing the work, that is going to bring a lot of aha moments, a lot of support from spirit, where you will get to understand what it is you need to do next in order for you to move forward in that particular project that you're working on. Now, the World card also came out for you guys. Again, it is confirmation of having a happy ending. Okay, things are working out the way it should for you. Things will come full circle for you. There's nothing that you will need or want or lack or have any lack of. Your needs are going to be met and you will be provided for. And Spirit again is saying, have faith in this process. Even though right now it may not look that that's how it's going to end up. Trust the process, because you're doing everything you can. So your spirit guides and your ancestral guides are also going to meet you halfway. Okay, they're not going to leave you hanging like that. All right. Now, the Empress card came out. Some of you have been, for a lack of a better term, ignoring some of your divine counterparts. Many of you are in spiritual connections, and because things didn't really work out the way you were hoping for, because things didn't pan out the way you were hoping for, you sort of just kind of said, okay, you know what, I'm just going to act like this person doesn't exist and I'm going to move on. For many of you, you can't move on because it is a soul connection. This is true when you are dealing with someone where the connection wasn't toxic. You know, there really wasn't necessarily anything that could have hindered you from moving forward with this connection except your own ego. Okay. Now, when I say connection, I'm not talking about trauma bonding. And so I have to make that clear, because there are a lot of ladies who will confuse the two. All right. Spiritual connection. It doesn't even necessarily have to be romantic. It could be a friend or an acquaintance or someone that you have a spiritual connection with. Doesn't have to be romantic in nature. The spiritual connection exists because the two of you are connected to support each other, all right, and provide encouragement for each other. Okay, that's what that connection is. A trauma bond is when you are trauma bonded to someone who is toxic. They have toxic traits, okay? And the way the trauma bond works is that during that whole wheel, that whole circle of violence, okay, it's sort of similar when we talk about narcissistic and emotional abuse, whereas the narcissist or the sociopath have moments that lead up to them, you know, just going off, being just completely mean and angry, right? So it's just always just this cycle of them being mean and angry. Then they cool down. Once they cool down, it's the honeymoon phase before they get started back up again, okay? That honeymoon phase is what the trauma bond is, okay? You're looking for that connection again with that person. If you are talking about someone who is toxic, babe, that is not your soul connection. And your spirit guides want you to be connected to someone who can help you through, all right, what you're going through. You can help each other, and you don't have to worry about undoing their toxicity, all right? That's not a soul connection. A trauma bond is not a soul connection, and I cannot emphasize that enough, all right? So for many of you who do have a soul connection, you've been neglecting this, okay? It could be that you were afraid of it, you didn't understand it, you didn't know why this connection exists, why you felt this person's energy, whatever the case might be. You neglected it. That is going to come back full circle for you this fall, where you're going to have to look at, one, why you neglected this soul connection, okay? And two, you're going to look at what this soul connection was trying to teach you. That is the lessons that many of you will have to end up looking at for this fall, because you do have a divine counterpart. You have several divine counterparts. And I think for the fall, that's the season for Leos to either, one, look at who their divine counterpart is and identify them and grow with them, okay? Or two, figure out what is stopping you from connecting to your divine counterpart. Because I do think in the winter, many of you will come into union with that person who is your divine counterpart. But you can't do it if you have things like ego in the way, okay? So that's what Spirit is asking you to work on this fall. You know, work on how you view yourself when it comes to you, your divine counterpart, and your relationships. Remember, You deserve that beautiful life that you've always wanted. All right. You don't have to skate around it. All right. You don't have to limit yourself. So many beautiful things are coming from many of you, especially as we approach winter. Now I'm going to go through the rest of our cards really quickly. 7 of Wands, your spirit guides are asking many of you to learn the art of meditation. Some of you need to get back to finding balance, because you've been working so much so that you don't even have a strong social life anymore. Okay. You just been solely focused on your projects and work. Spirit is saying, come up out of that energy. Okay. Because you're missing out on a lot in life. All right. The other card, the Fool card, 6 of Cups. Many of you will embark on a new beginning with someone from your past. All right. That person is going to either come back into your life, or you going to initiate conversation with that person yourself. It's going to be a new beginning for both of you. Okay. But it will require both of you to also put your egos to the side. All right. So again, I think that whoever this divine counterpart that spirit is trying to get both of you back on track with, this person will also be going through their own transformative phase as well throughout the fall. Okay. So both of you will be in a position of seeing that what both of you contributed to the relationship or the connection not really being successful. Okay. So both of you are coming to this with a fresh outlook on this connection. So you're not blaming each other, but rather you're just starting fresh. You're starting new. Page of Swords. Many of you you have a lot of good ideas. For many of you, you don't know how to sit still. You need to work on being able to sit still in order to hear the voice of spirit. I think many of you are missing messages that the universe is trying to give to you, because you're doing everything for everyone all the time, and you don't even have time to breathe. All right. Spirit is saying, take a break, breathe. I didn't create you so that you can run yourself into the ground. You know, it's okay to want to relax and take a break and find your peace. Okay. Find wholeness. All right. Now, for many of you, the mask is starting to fall off. So many of you had put on this mask for the world to see that everything was good in your life. Nothing was bothering you. You were all just blessed and highly favored. No one can stop you. But underneath that mask, you know, you were still hurting. Okay. You were still healing from heartbreak. Okay. Some of you were still dealing with rejection that you've experienced. Okay, and you're dealing with the resulting self-doubt because of that rejection. And so you have a rigid way of thinking. Okay, you no longer see the universe at your fingertips. You know, you no longer see that, hey, I have the power to manifest anything that I want, because you're still operating in self-doubt. So things are starting to look a little bit in a disarray for some of you, because that mask is falling off. Your spirit guides are asking you to confront those parts of yourself that you were neglecting to confront previously. 10 of Wands in reverse, ask for help. Some of you have friends, family members who've been trying to be there for you, and you've been just, saying, hey, no, I'm good. I'm fine. I'm good. Don't worry about it. Spirit is saying, ask for help, because you're going to end up burning yourself out emotionally and physically if you do not ask folks for help. All right. Now, why do you need to go through all of this? It's because what is about to come for you guys in the winter, starting the beginning of 2021, is going to be all worth it. All right. The Star card, your wishes being fulfilled. 10 of Cups, you having an abundant social life, your financial needs being met. So Spirit is saying prepare, 9 of Wands, because you are going to have many options to choose from. 7 of Cups. So this is why you're going through everything that you're going through now. Spirit is preparing you, okay? So again, work on those things that you know needs healing, and definitely reach out and ask for help, Leo, okay? So if any of you want a personalized reading, please feel free to send a message to Katrina@PisceanSpirituality.org. Thank you so much for listening. Have a beautiful week, Leo.